The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello Gurukulam, we are meeting after a week. I'm glad to hear that you all enjoyed the last session with Julie. Yeah, it was quite informative and personally speaking, I enjoyed a lot, and it was like, as I said, it was quite informative that, she threw light on so many areas which we never knew about the English language. Okay, and she gave us tips as well, isn't it? So last session was like, something special for me. I really had a good interaction with her, and we really had a good conversation, a healthy conversation. Okay, now today's session is something different and unique, I will say. I'll tell you how. Alright, so today's session I will be focusing mainly on British English, because last week we heard a little bit of American English. So today let's get into British English. This is like, today I'm focusing mainly on the dialects and the slangs. For example, or for instance, in Kerala, we have different dialects, we have different slangs, right? So what we speak in Palakkad, the slang words we use in English, the dialect, the tone is different from Cochin. For example, if you ask me personally, I speak typical Palakkad Malayalam because I'm born and raised in Palakkad. So I speak typically Palakkad in Malayalam, what you say. But a person who is born and raised in Cochin may speak the Cochin dialect. The tone must be different from Palakkad. So the same goes with England. For example, a person from Bristol, that's a place in the UK in England, he speaks a different tone, a slang, a dialect from a person who is from Yorkshire. So it's just like how in Palakkad, Cochin, Trivandrum we have different dialects. Same way in England also, there are different dialects. Okay, so today I am going to focus on a dialect or a slang, or more than a dialect or more than a slang. I can say it's like a code language. Alright, it's a code language used in London, east side of London, and this slang is called Cockney slang. Cockney, Cockney slang. So this is just for your information. Since we are exploring a lot about the English language, I thought I'll just expose a bit about the Cockney slang. So you must be wondering, like, what is Cockney slang, or how does it sound, or who is a Cockney? Yeah. So I'll be explaining a bit about Cockney slang, where it came from and what are the examples, everything about Cockney slang. Alright, now let's get into this hardcore topic, Cockney. Who is a Cockney, or what is a Cockney rhyming slang? So Cockney is like a humorous slang. It's just for fun, or it's like a humorous slang used in the east part of London. This is mainly not in Yorkshire, not in Bristol, not in Cambridge. It's basically used by the East Londoners. The people from London, they call them Londoners. So this particular slang is from east part of London. Alright, so this slang is used, to to hide the true meaning. It's like, as I said earlier, it's like a code language. So mainly these were used by the thieves. The police informers and police, they used to contact each other. So this is like a pretty old slang. Like this goes way back to 19th century. Like in the beginning of 19th century, the thieves used to speak this language so that the police and the informers of the police, they won't come to know what they are actually speaking. All right, I think it's clear for you. It's like a code language. It's not like real English. And nowadays, I don't even think that Cockney slang is used in London, but this is like an old slang. Since we are learning more and more about English, that's why, just to make you aware, just to make you acquainted with this thing, that's why I present this topic. All right, okay, so let's get into this in detail. I'll give you some examples as well. So Cockney slang is basically a rhyming slang. Rhyming, for example, I can give you an example. Army and Navy. Army and Navy. V. Army, Navy. V. So the next word will be similar. This is a code language. In Cockney, it's a code language, Army and Navy. So the ending will be like V. So you have to guess, that ends with, that particular word ends with V. Army and Navy is gravy. Gravy. For example, you are sitting on the dining table. You have rice, you have chicken curry, or sometimes we say chicken gravy, right? Gravy means basically the curry. So you are sitting on the dining table. You have your dad, you have your mom, and you. All right. So your mama is serving rice to daddy, and for example, if the Cockney slang, how they use, please pass on the Army and Navy. V, that means gravy. So please pass on the Army and Navy. So that means please pass on the gravy. So this is like more or less a bit, puzzle or kind of confusing, but it's quite interesting because we can really speak a humorous thing with this, and as I said in earlier this is mainly spoken as a code language, so that we don't know, the people who know Cockney, they can really communicate, but the outsider will not know what they are actually speaking. So first example is Army and Navy. So the ending will be V. So the word will be something connected with V, that is gravy. Please pass on the Army and Navy. That means please pass on the gravy. That is the first example. And now second example will be, I'll tell you, dog and bone. Own. Dog and bone. Own. What will be the word? Dog and bone in Cockney means phone. You have to check the last pronunciation. I mean the last way how we pronounce dog and bone, phone. All right. So she's always on the dog. They will not say dog and bone. They will say dog. So if a Cockney hear this, he will understand that particular lady, for example Sandhya. Oh, Sandhya is always on the dog. That means Sandhya is always on the phone. So dog and bone means in Cockney, it means in real English, it is phone, but in a Cockney language, a Cockney slang, that means phone. Dog and bone, phone. So she's always on the dog. So instead of saying dog and bone, they just say dog. So a Cockney will understand, all right, that means she's always on the phone. That's the second example. Now the third example, bacon. Bacon and eggs. Eggs. GS. So this is something connected with X, S, legs. Bacon and eggs are legs. Oh wow, you got a lovely set of bacons, they say. That means you got lovely pair of legs. All right. So if we talk to a Cockney, we say, oh, you got lovely set of bacons. Means it's not literally the bacon. It means in Cockney slang, it means you have got a lovely pair of legs. So bacon and eggs, legs. All right. Now the fourth example is, I won't puzzle you with more and more examples. This is just an informative session, so I will only include a few examples. Now the fourth one is bread and honey. Honey. Bread and honey is money. Okay. bread and honey means money. All right, you can say the last pronunciation, honey, money. All right, so she has got plenty or lots of, you know, money means in Cockney accent they say she has got plenty or lots of bread. So instead of bread and honey, they make it short, bread. So when a normal English we say, oh, she has got plenty of bread, we'll be like, what? We won't understand anything. But in East London, in a Cockney slang, if you use, oh, she is bloody rich, she has got plenty or lots of bread, that means she is bloody rich, or she has got lot of money with her. Okay, and the fifth example is Adam and Eve. I think many of you might have heard the term Adam and Eve. It's like the characters in Bible, Adam and Eve, the first person, the first man and first woman in earth. They are Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve, Eve, believe. Adam and Eve means believe. So the Cockney accent is the slang is Adam and Eve, which basically means believe. Again, it's a code word. Oh my God, I can't Adam and Eve it. That means, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Or else you can say, I don't Adam and Eve you. That means I don't believe you. Alright? So Adam and Eve, that means basically it is pointing to believe. I don't Adam and Eve you. That means I don't believe you. And the sixth example, ache and pain. Ain. Ache and pain. Ain. What is something with ain? Rain. Ache and pain is rain in Cockney slang. For example, it's gonna ache and pain. So that basically a Cockney will understand. If you talk to a Cockney, you'll say, it's gonna be it's going to be like it's going to be ache and pain. That means it's going to be, or it's going to rain. All right, so we discussed on six examples. One is army and navy, which is gravy, curry would we say. So please pass on the army and navy, please pass on the gravy. Dog and bone, phone. Sandhya is always on the dog. Instead of dog and bone, they say it short as dog. Sandhya is always on the dog. That means Sandhya is always on the phone. And third is bacon and eggs. That is legs. Oh wow, you got a lovely pair of bacons. Doesn't literally means the bacon or the pig or anything. That really means you have got a lovely pair of legs. And the fourth one, bread and honey, money. So, she has got plenty or lots of bread. Instead of bread and honey, they say bread. So a Cockney will understand we are saying that she has got a lot of money. And the sixth, the last but not the least, is ache and pain, ain, rain. So it's gonna ache and pain. That means a Cockney will understand it is going to rain. Okay, I hope this is something new for you, and you all must be like enjoying this. Okay, now I have one of my best friend. He's from the UK. He's from Yorkshire. So he is a native speaker. As you know, he's from England. So he will be talking to you guys. He will be talking more about the Cockney slang. It is always good to hear from a native speaker. I mean, he's from the Yorkshire, but it's a little bit far from the London. But of course he has encountered, or he had experience, or he has heard many times a Cockney slang. So I think more than me, he will be the best person to explain a little bit more about the Cockney slang. So Dave will explain a little bit about England, a little bit about a different dialects of England, a little bit of British English. I mean, you guys will hear typical British English. He'll be talking about a bit of Cockney slang as well. So this session I aimed about the Cockney slang, and I want you to listen to British English as well. So I am introducing to you my best friend. His name is David Michael Dooler, and we call him Dave. So here you go. Dave will speak a few words.
Hello everyone at Gurukulam School. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. Let me introduce myself. My name is David Michael Dooler. I prefer to be called Dave. I have 3 adult children and 6 grandchildren. Before I go any further, I will show you around my room. This is my living room. And outside you see my car. I won't take you around the rest of my home just yet. I don't have much time. I'm from a very large family. My mother had 15 children, 11 girls and 4 boys. I am the 8th child, but sadly there are now only 10 of us still alive. I live in a village called Crofton, which is 4 kilometres from our city of Wakefield. Wakefield is famous in England as the capital of the rhubarb plant. I found that very interesting when I found out. England itself is divided into regions known as counties. Each county has many cities and towns. I'm sure it's the same where you are. The county where I live is called West Yorkshire, and it is situated in the north of England. Each county has its own dialect or slang, which is a different way of speaking. The towns and cities within the counties may also have a different dialect too. The people from these cities are often given collective names. For instance, people from Liverpool are called Scousers. People from Newcastle are Geordies. People from Birmingham are Brummies. And those from the East End of London are Cockneys. It is the Cockney rhyming slang which I will tell you a little about today. Real Cockney people are born within the sound of Bow bells. These are the bells of the Church of St Mary le Bow in the East End of our capital city, London. In the modern day, most people with a London accent are likely to be referred to as Cockneys. But you lovely people know where a true Cockney comes from. I have been asked to try to speak to you in Queen's English, which is the correct way our language should be spoken, and the way Sandia speaks. But please forgive me if I speak Yorkshire slang at times. I have lived in Yorkshire all my life, 65 years, so it is very difficult for me to speak the correct English language. So on to the Cockney rhyming slang, which I have heard often on my visits to the East End of London over the years. Rhyming slang has spread to many English-speaking countries, including Australia, Canada, and the United States of America. It is often said in rhyming slang that someone who is from Australia may live in steak and kidney, which is rhyming slang for Sydney in Australia. So that will give you a little indication of what rhyming slang is and Cockney rhyming slang. There are now thousands of Cockney rhyming slangs, and some are very complicated and difficult to work out. It often means that those speaking the rhyme have to explain exactly what it means to those listening. I hope that I am making it easy for you to understand, but the best way is to give you examples. For instance, When someone has taken too much alcohol, a Cockney will say he or she is elephant's drunk, which means they are drunk. The real Cockney will actually shorten this to just he or she is elephants. Now, elephants does not rhyme with drunk, but people understand they mean elephant's drunk. I hope I'm making myself clear. I will give you a few more examples. One in particular, someone says to me in Cockney, "Hello Dave, would you like a Ruby Murray?" Which means, "Hello Dave, would you like a curry?" Again, this is often shortened to just Ruby. "Hello Dave, would you like a Ruby?" Ruby Murray was actually a popular singer in the 1950s. Another famous one is, "I need to speak to someone on the dog and bone," which means the phone, which is short for telephone. And again, this is often reduced to, "I need to speak to someone on the dog." A more difficult one could be, "Can you lend me an Ayrton Senna?" Ayrton Senna was the famous Brazilian motor racing driver, I believe, which means in Cockney, "Can you lend me a tenner?" which is a £10 of English currency. Another example, "I am just going up the apple and pears," which means I am just going up the stairs. Again, apple to some. My final example is my favourite. A Cockney man may say to his friend when they see an ugly girl, "Have you seen her boat race?" I think you might guess what this means. It actually means, "Have you seen her face?" I hope there's not any ugly girls where you are. I'm sure they're all beautiful. I hope my examples have given you a good understanding of Cockney slang. I will now give you 10 more examples, but I won't give you the examples of what the answer is, what they mean. So I will allow you to get a pencil and paper or pen and paper to jot them down, give you time to think, and later I will give you the answers. So, the first one, loaf of bread. Loaf of bread. Number 2, north and south. North and south. Number 3, pen and ink. Pen and ink. Number 4, plates of meat. Plates of meat. Number 5, Rosie Lee. Rosie Lee. Number 6, syrup of fig. Syrup of fig. Number 7, tea leaf. Tea leaf. Number 8, trouble and strife. Trouble and strife. Number 9, dustbin lid. Dustbin lid. And the final one, currant bun. Currant bun. I hope you managed to get all those down on paper and have a good think about it. I hope you understand more clearly now exactly what the rhyming slang is, or the Cockney rhyming slang. Perhaps you can try to make up your own Cockney rhyming slang. The important thing to know is there is no wrong answer. If it rhymes, then it is good. It would be wonderful if you could let Sandia hear them so that she can tell me. I would be very interested. I thank you all so much for listening. I hope that you understand what I was saying, and good luck to you all in your future lives. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dave, for your precious time. It was really interesting. I really liked, personally speaking, I really love British English. The former session with Miss Julie, she also said that she's drawn to British English. So am I. I really love British English. So it was really interesting to hear from you. I think our children also enjoyed a lot. So children, Dave has given you, some kind of puzzles or rather questions to solve. So just think about it and try to get the answer. I will give you the answers of these questions in the next session. So till then, bye bye, take care, be safe, have a wonderful weekend.